This is from FS1 Speak. Former wide receiver James Jones, what he's seen from Deshaun Watson with the Browns.
Every time we talk Deshaun Watson, we keep on bringing up Texans.
Right. Little pass.
Where is he at? Where is the Texans' Deshaun Watson? Like, to be honest with you, when you think about what Cam Newton's saying, game changers and game men, this dude is labeled a game changer. That's why they gave him $230 million guarantee, because he was that type player. So now we finna say, if you have 185 yards and if you 210 total yards and 6 interceptions and 2 pick sixes and your team 5-1, that's good enough. This is arguably on the verge of being one of the worst trades in NFL history.
I agree with you, John.
With what the Texans received for Deshaun Watson. The man came off the couch in Joe Flacco and took this team to the playoffs. We should be talking them getting Deshaun Watson back. If it was the Deshaun Watson from Houston, this team going to the Super Bowl. Nobody's saying that because we haven't seen this dude in 3 years. To me, if you ain't seen somebody in 3 years, he gone.
Fred, I get it. Deshaun Watson didn't want to be suspended for the games he did. Now you can argue, his actions got him that. Getting hurt is getting hurt. I mean, you can't really hold that against him.
No, and I don't like to always sound like I'm defending him, but I watched last, from the beginning of training camp and watched him throw, watched him move, watched, quite closely. And I've watched training camps, quarterbacks, going back to Brian Sipe. I mean, I'm dating myself, but he's got all the tools, throws the ball as well as any that I've ever seen with the Browns, and I don't know if it's between his ears, the stigma. Certainly there's not a rust factor anymore, but I really think he wants to be successful. He's not taking the money and just banking it and I'm not wanting to play. It's evident when he didn't tell the coaching staff or the trainers that he was hurt as bad as he was, after the Titans game and then, stayed in the game with the Ravens and, he could have just walked off and said, I don't need to do this. So I just think that, until he does it on the field, there's going to be these type of things. And that's why the Browns are under the radar. They're consistently, you look at rankings at this time of the year, which are kind of ridiculous. They have the Browns, getting 3rd or 4th place in the division. And that could happen. In this division, you could be first, you could be last. I mean, it really comes down to injuries and stuff like that many times with this. And so I just think that's why I keep saying he's got to stay healthy. He's got to learn to go down or go out of bounds, not take hits, and stay on the field. And I think that the low bar would be that he would still average a couple touchdowns a game, and he might not have the gaudy numbers that he had in those 3 years that he was a Pro Bowler. But I don't know how he couldn't. They have a lot of weapons for him, and I just think that he's going to get it together here this year.
Yeah, and again, I agree with James Jones. If he plays, like he's capable of playing, they're a Super Bowl contender without question.